true musical phenom, singer, songwriter, producer, even she's on her own sound engineer. Born in Minneapolis, raised in a Baptist church, her sound, her voice is a gift from God. I'll tell you, when angels sing, the lead singer is Miss Alia Lene Jackson. Welcome to another episode of Talking with Kevin and Son and the People You Should Know, brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. Through the power of story, our mission is to uplift through the voices, inspired stories, and experiencing perspectives using the framework of teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope, helping other people every single day. And for those of you are out there, especially the 10-year-old girls looking at the world and saying, that can never happen to me. Well, Miss Alia Lene Jackson will tell you, if you dream big, anything's possible. Welcome, Miss Alia Lene, songwriter extraordinaire. Welcome.
Thank
How
you
you
so
doing?
much. I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. I've been waiting for this all week, so I'm very excited. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. You just know that I just auditioned to be your MC for the opening of your show when you're going on tour. You know that.
Let's do it. Yeah,
All
let's
right,
do it.
we'll do it. You know something? I am going to tell you. You know, we share a good friend, Mr. Aaron Eubanks. He happens to be your manager, and I know, from growing up in my neighborhood. I grew up with the guys from Ohio Players, Lakeside, Sun, Zap, Heat Wave, and all those guys. They were in the 5-mile radius of me, and we all had a dream. Every last one of us had our little groups and a little doo-wop on the corners and everything else. And so we love to soul music. Gladys Knight, personal friend of mine, opened the show for Peabo Bryce and the little group that I had back in the day. Have been backstage with the Spinners, OJs, Stylistics, all those. Hopefully you know some of those groups. But I'm going to tell you, baby girl, when I first heard your Christmas song, you gave me a feeling the kind of way that I was anticipating Christmas. Grew up in a Baptist church singing. So how did all this start? Tell me.
So the Christmas music, or how did just me as an artist start?
How did you start as an artist? Because it looks like you're your own production company when I read your resume. So when did this start?
I can tell you throughout the years, I've had to learn more skills, and I have all the faith in God. And so for my journey personally, it was for me to learn how to engineer, learn how to make beats, learn how to write. There was a time, I think around like 13 years old is when I recorded my first album. My mom put me in my uncle's studio and we just started, I was playing the piano and stuff. But after that, it was when I feel like I really got to work. And I had a moment when nobody would make me a beat or nobody would engineer me. And I had to ask myself, okay, is this going to be the moment you stop, or is this going to continue to propel you forward? And I chose to become all of the things that I felt like I was lacking at the time. So I didn't necessarily have a producer. So I had to do that, and I'm so thankful because now I can look at these young artists that are wanting to come up, and I can see that like the world is literally their oyster. You don't have to be pushed in a box of just being a singer, just being a writer, just being the producer. Like if you want to do it, you can do it. So that's really kind of where it started for me. And it's still going. I'm still learning every single day, trial and error, successes. And yeah, it's just a beautiful journey.
And is it true you started in church singing?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
I started at a really young age in church, Baptist church. We had Christ Temple actually in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So just singing, we had an Easter play. And I remember one time my little sister, she accidentally cut her finger the day before our Easter play and she had a solo. And, the doctor told her she always had to, raise her right hand and keep her right hand up. And we got to a moment when it was her solo and she froze. And so I don't remember this, but my mom does. She said, I ran up and I took the mic and I just started singing because the show must go on.
All right. Do you remember the song you were singing?
I don't. I do know it was a Christmas play. I do remember that though. So I guess that I have been introduced to the Christmas side a little bit before, but yeah, I don't remember the name of the song, but yeah.
Well, at 10 years old, taking a mic from your sister, like, is she part of your group right now, or is she your?
She actually went another route. My sister is a videographer, cinematographer. My older sister is an entrepreneur. And so everybody, we tried, I think, to do a group when we were little girls, but I think it was really only like my actual passion. So everybody decided to do what they do. And I'm the one who stuck with music.
Well, I'm glad you stuck with music. Now, every young star, every singer, whatever, emulates someone or someone that has already been established, has been that beacon that says, I'm going to be like them, or I'm going to be better than them. Where'd you get your inspiration from your music to your sound?
My music to my sound, I just figured that out. And it is a cross between Missy Elliott and Lauryn Hill.
All right.
And the reason, it started with Missy just because I love Missy's vibe and her confidence and just her humility as just a woman. She's so amazing. And on the production tip, her being a producer and a writer, and then just with Lauryn Hill being able to walk both lines successfully as an MC and as a very talented singer. I look up to aspire to do that. And so on the Missy and between Lauryn Hill, I feel like those are the two that I would love to just do the best that I can in their, area.
And now I understand why you sound such like an old soul, because of looking at who inspired you to people that don't just sing, that they sing with purpose and a direction to where their music is going through. There's some strong message behind your music. And because I know the first time I spoke to you on the phone, I'm going, this girl ain't 21. This is some old lady faking to be 21. I saw your picture. That's not her pictures.
I got to ask you a question. Who told you I was 21? Was it Hawk or Aaron?
Aaron.
I am 26. They are so off. And this is not the first time it happened. I feel like Hawk been saying I was 22, 23 since I met him. I met them when I was 22. But yeah, I'm 26 now.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you haven't aged, and looking at your marketing and your promotional pictures and whatever, you're polished. I'm going to tell you, you put stuff out there. You are polished. I don't know if any of the people that are listening to this interview, if you have not Googled Alia Lene, or you went to her YouTube page and looked at listened to her music, or go to her IG and look at some of the pictures, hey, I've been around Whitney Houston. Okay. I've been, sitting backstage with Janet Jackson. I have personally met Patti LaBelle. I have personally met the Queen of Soul. And I've seen a lot of other entertainers, and I know what perfection looks like. 21, 26. Normally, some of our young artists don't have that together. Where did your look come from? How did you develop this brand? And you could say mommy and daddy, they get credit, but you did your own hair.
Honestly, I'm laughing because there is so much beauty that can come out of turmoil sometimes. And for me, it was actually, I feel like I kept accidentally ruining my hair. I used to do like wigs a lot, and I change it up and be different people. I loved it. But starting in COVID was actually when I was like, I don't want to wear wigs anymore. Like and I live in Florida now. So Florida is so hot. I don't know how to do all of that. So I ended up cutting my hair. I cut the sides off. So I had like a mohawk because my mom had a mohawk when she was, my age. She was actually a rapper herself. So she had a mohawk. So I started doing the mohawk thing. And then I just decided one day, because I was bleaching it, I just decided to put in a texturizer. I don't know why I did that, but it completely ruined my hair. So I had no choice but to cut it completely off. And it was actually the most beautiful feeling ever, just shaving my head, because it was just me. I didn't go to the barber. I just shaved it. And it took a year for it to grow into waves. So it did take a minute, but yeah, it came from me accidentally rooting my hair. But it's so crazy because as soon as I had no hair, I took the lashes off, I took the nails off, I was able to just be me, and really start to explore how do I like myself to look versus what's on the outside, what's in social media, what's, popular in society. And, short hair on women, it's around, but it's not as prevalent as the super long 72-inch, hair. So for me, I absolutely love the image that I have right now because it's you have your do rags and it's still sexy and it's fun and it's young, and it came from me accidentally ruining my hair.
And and this conversation is to realize is part of the reason that I say that you're an old soul, because having a woman of color, a Black woman, being at center stage, saying I shave my hair. You know the way, women are with their hair, especially women of
Yes.
color. I coached a kid that was a world class athlete in high school, and refused to run in the meet going to the state because it rained and she didn't want to mess up her hair.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you're sending such a powerful message to women, not just women of color, all women,
Yeah.
is that your beauty comes from within. It doesn't come with the extensions. It doesn't come with the arching of the eyebrows, the
Yep.
makeup, the implants, or the workout, or whatever the case may be. Beauty
Exactly.
comes from within. And until you identify your beauty, you're just pretty.
That's true. And then you're also so swept up in today's society of what the beautiful woman is supposed to look like, quote unquote, you know. And I feel like I see a lot of girls around here. I'm also a personal trainer. That's what I've been doing for my day job all these years.
Girl, you challenging
Being,
me. You know what I do for a living, right? Outside of this,
get out of here. What?
I am 40 years plus as being one of the best fitness professionals. I'm not a trainer, I'm a professional
Oh, there
in
we
the
go.
business, world-class athletes. I have 2 Olympic
Wow.
gold medalists to my name. I have a bronze medalist, Tamok, that's a wrestler, to my name. You know,
You've done everything.
well, when you get this old, you have to do something, otherwise you just grow old.
It's experience. It's definitely experience. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So we can definitely connect on this. Yeah, as I train, I aspire to be a fitness professional. As I'm, have my clients, there's something that I keep seeing in the fitness industry, and it's all of these popular diets that just pop up out of nowhere. And laxative teas have been something that I'm seeing so much, and I just want to share with people that, like you just said, your beauty does come from the inside. You don't need to resort to extreme measures to try to lose weight or gain weight, or I get it. It's so popular right now to have a thick booty and all of that. I understand. But when it comes to your health and when it comes to the way you feel about yourself, I feel like you have to get your foundations right first. Otherwise, we can get tossed in this area of doing all of these things that aren't even of who we really are, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Matter of fact, you're taking this interview to a whole nother level, especially when we talk about, especially people of our own color, talking about creating that foundation. I mean,
Mhm.
I am the first person that will say to any of my clients, your weight doesn't matter.
It
Until a
doesn't.
man walks up to you and he says, Miss Alia Lene, he says, I love the way your hair just kind of glows in the dark. It waves up there. You got beautiful eyes, and that smile, I'm going to tell you, that smile just lights up my world. But until I find out how much you weigh, you can never have my heart. Your weight
It's
means nothing.
exactly. It means absolutely nothing. But it's us, you know, doing. I don't. It's the strangest thing, and this is why I feel like my purpose in life is to just spread the opposite of bad. And that's really all I want to do. Like, I look at these young girls, and I had a moment, and we could definitely move off this, but this is where my head is all the time. Like when
That's
I'm
fine.
writing music, and when I am thinking of like, what am I going to post, or what videos are we going to do? I take all of this into account, and I'm always thinking about the younger generation of young women, and especially the younger generation of Black women coming up, because at some point the the toxic ways that we think about ourselves has to stop. And
You're
so for
exactly
me,
right.
there's times, and I'll listen to a Megan Thee Stallion record, I'll turn up too, but then there are also times when I feel like there needs to be other things being spread to our younger generation. I have some cousins and they were in my TikTok one day and they were doing some, they're doing their videos. They're so cute. And they were listening to the song. I won't name the artist, but it was saying these words that a 9-year-old girl should never say or even think, and I noticed it was that moment when I said, okay, I have to give music that these younger girls can embody as well. And that night I actually went home and wrote this record called Worth That. And I cannot wait to release it to the world because I know for sure that this record needs to be heard and embodied by all women everywhere.
And you do know I'm going to ask you when you release that to hit me up.
Oh,
so
for sure.
we can go ahead and spread that all over. And, you can do the video. And that's the day that you can come down here and do it live. And
Okay.
we'll play
Yes.
it. Matter of fact, I'm going to open the door for you to do a live concert through our RMK Productions. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
So what about the message in your music to young men on how our young men should be addressing and treating women, and what should women expect from a man? Because I know I watch young people and I'm going, not my child, not my daughter, not my granddaughter. What is that message to young men?
The message to young men, I honestly think I'm figuring that out because I think the first thing I wanted to do was attack the internal of the woman. When people treat you the way you allow them to.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find yourself in situations, which was me in relationships that just never worked, when you find yourself in a similar pattern, you have to look at yourself at some point. So I think I'm just flushing out the ideas when it comes to the woman story that I want. And men, I do have some sexy records for men that they would like enjoy. But I think one thing that when men listen to my music, or when they listen to the music I'm going to release, one thing they're going to take away is, yes, I'm sexy. Yes, I'm all of that they love to talk about in the music, but I'm also that woman you're going to respect. I'm not the one that's just going to lay with you on the first night. I'm not that girl, and yeah, but I think I'm still kind of flushing it out.
All right, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to send you a copy of before my book even gets released, the edited version of my book, Dating with a Full Deck. And that's going to give you something that's going to at least give you a foundation. You don't have to follow it, but it's going to give you a foundation on both sides of the coin, both men and women. But I want to get back to the music. Okay. You play multiple instruments. What was the first one you learned how to play?
Piano.
Okay. Why the piano?
My mother and father bought me a Yamaha keyboard when I was 13. So they just bought me a keyboard and that was just it. Started playing. I started self-teaching. I was never taught. I haven't had lessons, but I just started self-teaching.
Do you read music also?
I do. Yep. I do read.
Okay. Now, I'm not for sure if this background is yours or this is your studio, because Aaron already told me you had a killer studio. Does that little thing with the keys on there, does it play anything? Does it have sound to it?
It does. Yep. This is my piano.
All right. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
It's turning on. There we go. Can you hear it?
Well, I hear a little bit more. Go ahead. Let me
gotta turn my mic up.
Go ahead, play something.
Yeah. Sorry, I got the mic. I think I got to like put the mic like on the.
All right. Thing. All right. Hey, I told you I was gonna get you to play.
You did, and you did. You definitely did. And I looked. I said, there goes Uncle Kevin. There he goes.
There you go. So, not every young artist, especially coming out of the box, can say that their music is either part of or the intro of a national hit comedy show. And especially not a lot of young artists can say their music is being played or have been listening to by a guy by the name of Tyler Perry. And I have to give Tyler Perry his props. Single-handedly, he has been the most successful film producer, writer that's put more people of color in the industry into a better financial position than all of Hollywood together. So hats off and props to Tyler Perry. Those that hate on the young brother don't understand the struggles of a young brother. Learn Tyler Perry's story. Tell me how that happened, and tell me about the song that's in his hit comedy series, Sisters, on BET.
Yeah, so I have a record called My Heartaches. I wrote this record in 2019. You know, it's a record about being heartbroken, but painted in a poetic way. And Hak Islam is my manager as well, alongside Aaron Eubanks. And I'll never forget, he called and he was like, look, we're in conversation with Tyler Perry and we're trying to get them to use your song. And there was a couple different things that were supposed to happen, like possibly my video being played or whatever. But all of a sudden I get a call like, hey, it's on this Friday. And we're like, what? Like, what? So I was told he personally listened to the song all the way through, personally handpicked the song to be a part of his TV show, Sisters. And I'll never forget when I was watching it, they played it for so long. It was like 1minute and 90 seconds. And usually when you get, you know, a sync placement, it'll play for 30 seconds, it'll play for 20 seconds, but they played all the way almost to the second chorus. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it just embodied the storyline so well. And it really made me excited to continue to do film and sync opportunities for sure. So thank you, Tyler Perry, if you're hearing this. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I got more music. So what's next?
and I'm going to say thank you, Tyler Perry, because you need to meet this young lady face to face, because I think she's got some acting chops too, and she's got a good look. So Tyler Perry, you know, let's get going. But part of the reason why we have you today is because it's the holidays, and I'm going to tell you, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, and we're not going to talk about that because we know this is for a whole nother conversation. But you have a song. You have a song that basically makes you feel good about Christmas, makes you believe. And I'm going to send you a copy of my award-winning book, Sprinkles, The True Spirit of Christmas. So you can do the music for that when it comes out. It's going to be a movie one day, so just get prepared.
Yeah.
So what I want to do before we talk about how this came about, how you wrote the song, or what inspired you, I want to take a couple minutes. And for our listeners, if you're driving, if you're pulling into Starbucks, if you're trying to quiet down that baby, get the dog for a walk, I'm going to tell you to put everything on pause for a little bit. And I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce the name of your song, because it has a little bit of kick to it, and you can't get it out of your head once you've heard it. And it also makes you want to sing Christmas and feel good about Christmas. And I will tell you again, Alia Lene at 21, 26 is by far, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be bigger than Whitney Houston. I'm going to tell you. Okay, I've been on stage with her too. So go ahead and introduce your song, and we're going to take a little bit and we're going to listen to your latest Christmas song. Go ahead, Alia Lene.
Hey guys, this is Alia Lene, and this is my song Christmas Morning.
On Christmas Day, the old familiar carols play, the symphony of tapping feet, from the brightest of stars to the littlest tree. I heard bells on Christmas Day, along with smells of pine and gray. The candlelight throughout the night illuminates our Christmas sky. Ringing, 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 ringing bells in my ears. Ringing, 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 ringing Christmas cheer. Ringing, 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 ringing bells in my ear. Ringing, 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 ringing Christmas cheer. Christmas morning, I wish every day could be Christmas morning.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
It took me back to being a child. I know what it's like, whatever. And the video, wow, is a classic.
Thank you so much.
You're unforgivable. I mean, forgettable. That white outfit, and then you went to red, and then the memory of you just getting out of bed, and all the little kids. Tell me how that came about. And I also think this is part of a movie's coming up, and tell me about that. Tell us about that.
Yes. So the video came about. It was directed by director Will Thomas in Atlanta, Georgia. We've actually done 3 videos together. My first 2 music videos were actually with him as well. So we did that in 2019, and then we came back for the holiday season. So directed by Will Thomas, styled by Lily Vasquez as well. So that's where all the fun colors came from, and the different crosses between the clothes and stuff. It was definitely really fun. Yeah, Hawk was like, we need a video. And I was like, we do need a video. And it is the opening title track to the movie 'Twas the Chaos Before Christmas on BET. It was directed by Terry Vaughn. So that was one we're so excited, because around fourth quarter every single year, this time of year is just so fun for us, because it's all about the holidays. I have been Christmas Morning is actually a part of my Christmas EP called Christmas Miracle. So I have about 6 songs on the actual EP as well. 2 of the songs that are on the EP are in the movie 'Twas the Chaos Before Christmas too. So yeah.
So you have a complete Christmas EP going
yes,
on?
I do.
You do know RMK Productions, we're releasing Christmas music to listen to.
Yes.
There's an open door for you to play your whole thing. You should be doing this live. Do Christmas for us live.
I should.
Ask
I
Aaron.
should. I just started on Twitch, and I am getting my Instagram lives ready. So I'm definitely trying to step out. So if you have any tips for me, please let me know. And I definitely want to step into that avenue for sure.
Well, I am going to give you some tips. And we've had this conversation over the weekend. When we first talked about it, I asked you, because I was so enamored by you. I was so impressed by you, and I asked you a question. I've asked this of young men going into the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, people going and get their first acting jobs. Are you ready to be a star? And I asked you that. All right. And then I wanted to wanted you to understand what a star was. And I know this interview is about you, but I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. If you look at the human body and you spread your legs out from east to west, you take your hands both east to west the same way. You look at the tip, you draw a line from one corner to the other, and it turns out to be a star. From your head, these are 2 parts, love and compassion. Everyone thinks that love comes from the heart, but love and passion is a conscious thought. All right. It's what you put out in the world, and what you believe and what your actions follow becomes your passion. Whatever your dominant hand, either be it right hand or left hand, that's the creative aspect of it. So when you're writing a song, whatever, okay, your faith and your passion all starts to connect. And the words that follow and the music that follows, the fingers that touch the keys, that follows. That's your creativity. All right. On the opposite hand, gratitude. Being grateful for the opportunity in order to do what you do and to be able to do this for a living. I've always said that every actor, when you go into it, I always ask why. If you go in it chasing a dollar bill is never going to be caught. Right. I say if you go into it just with the opportunity to make your living doing something that you really and truly love doing, and you give grace to where your talents comes from, you will continue to be blessed. Your right leg or your left leg, whichever is dominant, when you step out into the world, that's your courage. All right. It takes the risk. It's the first part of your body that steps through that door of opportunity in your dreams. Your left leg is your compassion. It's where your support comes through. Now here goes the kicker. Everything that surrounds a star, okay, that shine, that glow in which you have it, is optimism. It's your belief that you deserve it and it should be yours.
There we go. I love that.
All right.
I never broke down a human body like that. You are a fitness professional. I love that. Thank you for sharing
And
that.
so are you. So where do you want your career to go right now?
Right now, I have a lot of dreams and I have a lot of things that I have been calling into my life for a really long time. But my main goal is to provide security for my family and for me to literally wake up and every day I make my living by making music. That's really my biggest goal. I used to do the whole, oh, I want the Grammys and I want, now don't get me wrong, that's not saying I don't want them, but my number one focus and when I'm asking for this platform from God, it's not for the materialistic possessions. It's because I feel like I feel like I finally found my purpose, and that is to be of service to everybody here, you know. And that's why it took me a little bit longer. I only say that because I thought I was going to be famous at 16. But my goal for my career is to spread love, you know, and maybe to some that'll sound corny, but that's literally what I want to do. Yeah.
And believe it or not, and don't give up on your dream to be famous. You need to understand what fame is.
Yeah.
Okay. When the 10-year-old walks up to Alia Lene and says, I want to be like you,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you're famous. When your dream becomes someone else's dream. Not
Yeah.
the 30-year-old that wants to go out and buy you cars and wants to have a piece of that. That's not fame. That's a fan.
Right.
All
There you
right.
go.
When you become the that little bitty light of saying that I can do that too, that's when you become famous. That's when you become a celebrity. That's when, in a child's eyes, she's going to make you that star. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when a child looks up into the sky. Hope, helping other people every day. And the reason why I'm segueing into that is because you're different. You know, when I look at your Instagram page and you're telling people how to write music, how to write a song or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that's God's gift. My grandfather used to always say, when you get to a point in life you can help someone else, it is your duty to do so. You're teaching
Wow.
people the ins and outs of business, of this music business. Why?
It's something that I wish I had, you know. I had to become the things that I feel like I've lacked or I haven't had. So, you know, helping people write music, I think that is something that could be spoken nowadays because if we listen to the music that's really, really popular, not all music, but I'll mainly speak of the hip hop genre. It's music that has not a lot of meaning, you know, and music is supposed to be, not supposed to, but I think music it's a language, it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's therapy. And so when I want to help people write records, I want to help them be able to grasp their life and document it. And I just got some, you know, I don't, I'm not like the number one writer out here. One day though, one day. But I just want to help. I got some tips that works really well for me. And so I just love to share them.
All right. And I'm going to give you some advice. Stop putting a blanket over your dream. When you put something out there, that's what the world wants to give back to you, not
Okay.
hope or whatever.
Yeah.
Put an exclamation point on it. Let me ask you
You're
a
right.
question. Okay. We've all had these dreams. You know, I do have a dream as a writer. I used to be an actor that, you know, I want to be at some place that I can have a couple of little lines and would be my boy Denzel. All right.
Yeah.
If you had one singer, one entertainer, either past or present, that you can open up with and do a duet with, who would that be?
Ooh.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
That, and the reason why it's such a hard question is because I study so much and there are so many, but if I had to just choose one, I think I would choose Prince. And not just because we're both from Minnesota, but, and not because he's the only one, but I love how Prince was his music. He was the music. And if there was an instrument, he'd pick it up. He didn't mind, you know, Prince's just, he was so different, and he just was able to just go there. He had no fear. And that is the person that I would love to do a duet with, have a conversation. Let's talk dinner. Let's talk. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny, because I first thought of Michael Jackson and Alicia Keys.
But and you see, that's why I said it was hard.
I know, but Prince is right there too. Prince is right there, and the way that you described it was spot on.
Yeah. And then, and like, because, you know, Michael is Michael. I love Mike. But the reason why I chose Prince is because he was the instrumentalist, you know, and it's hard being a jack of all trades, because do you really get great, quote unquote, at anything? Prince did. So he would be the one that I would want to talk to, because he did everything.
Well, it's okay to be the jack of all trades. What's the cliche? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Of none, yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually the master of one.
Exactly.
It's okay to do that. You play multiple instruments. Which instruments do you play?
So piano is my first one. Guitar is my second. Over the years, I've picked up the cello, the violin, the flute, the bass, the drums, and the ukulele.
Okay. And how did you get into engineering, mastering your own sound?
Just engineering myself. This was started when I was in high school, and I had to get some music done. And I remember I had one engineer, and they were just a little bit slow. They were slower than my ideas were flowing. And so that was the moment when I said I need to buy a studio. So I bought an $80 microphone, $100 piano, like a little keyboard to plug in. And I had like a $50 2005 MacBook that I got on Craigslist. And that was the start of it.
Now, how does a singer get a manager? I mean, especially someone on the level of Ahad and Aaron. How do you get a manager?
I think it's different for everybody. It definitely is different. And for me, I actually met my management team through the high school I actually graduated from. So after I did a little traveling, I moved to a few different states to pursue the dream, auditioned for all the singing shows. I came back to Minnesota, and the principal for my high school, his name is Tony Simmons. He said, "Hey, I got somebody who's looking for a writer." And it happened to be Hawk. They went to college together. And yeah, so I ended up talking to Hawk, and I was writing for them, and then they were like, "We want you to be the artist," and that's exactly how everything played out. So it is different for everybody finding a manager. I think if you're looking for a manager, it's more so about networking, but also know what and why you're looking for a manager. Don't just go sign a contract. Don't just go give 15-20% away just because you feel like you need one. You need to know what the managers, what their plans are for your career. All of that needs to be lined out before you just go and sign a contract. I think you're muted a little. I think you're muted.
You're exactly right. I said you are an old soul in a young person's body, and you're also a futurist. How do people get a chance to listen to your music? How do they get in touch with you? Are you on social media, whatever?
Yes.
Go ahead and tell us. How do we reach?
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, at Alia Lene. That's ALIALENE. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. I go live on Twitch and I make music live. So if anybody wants to hop in with me and write some music together, Twitch is the area to do that. But I'm on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify too, for the music as well.
All right. I'm going to give you an open invitation to come back and do a live concert. If you want to do your music, Christmas music, we'll set that up right away here on RMK Productions. I asked this of all my guests, if you had one ask, ASK, and your dreams can ultimately come true, what would that ask be?
If I had one ask and all the dreams would come true?
This is almost like Aladdin, a lamp, and you get three wishes. And I will say you get one opportunity. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people that follow RMK Productions and Network, or talking with Kevin and Son, are people that have a higher call to action. And what I mean by that is that our followers and our listeners, they don't drive by an accident, they stop and help. So if you reach out and says you want to make a difference, you have a cause or whatever, we normally have someone that steps up and says we're going to make it happen. So I always say dream big. All right. So make your ask as high as it can be, or as big as it can be. Think about it just for a little bit. search your soul, and you say, if I can rub that lamp and have one thing come true, no matter what it is, doesn't have to be your music.
Okay, I got it. My one ask right now would be for all the tools to start and put out my nonprofit organization called the Worth That Foundation.
You want to say that
And
again?
it's-
All the
I would ask for all the tools and just that full blueprint on how to start my nonprofit organization. And I'm calling it the Worth That Foundation. It's going to be for young women, for young girls. I have the whole business outline, and it's actually was inspired by the record that I wrote. And now I'm giving purpose to the record. So the Worth That Foundation, it is going to be in the future, and it is for women to learn self-love, learn what they want, focus on themselves, grow, heal, all of that.
Well, you know something, this is strange.
Yeah.
Because God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to connect you with a young lady by the name of Jill Steinberg. She has a foundation called Live Like Blaine. She has a daughter, 21 years of age, before her 21st birthday, lost her life to cardiac arrest. And she created a foundation. And today, you know what she asked me? She wanted to be able to join or have someone come into her life that will be an example for young women.
Oh my gosh.
Of all ethnicities, of all colors, in order to be an example for young women to make changes. Even though it's through sports, I'm going to connect you with her. And because she has the ability and the financial wherewithal in order to put together a foundation. And I think between the two of you guys, the force will be with you. If I can actually say that on air and not have to have a copyright on that. This is a statement, not taken away from
Exactly.
a movie, because I believe there's a higher power, and that's the reason why your ask was that big. So we're going to address
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. It's so crazy because I see that dream as something that is so in the future, but this is why, like, I just have so much faith, because things are always in motion, and all you need sometimes is just the idea. Just go with the idea, and I feel like the world opens up. God will open those avenues. So thank you so much. That's amazing.
Don't thank me. This is just what my company does. This is what part of my dream is, to provide opportunity for other people. And I always say this, that we are all one turn from putting that key into the lock of opening the door to either connecting with someone that can make our dreams come true, or taking the next step towards making our dreams come true.
There you go.
All right. And so we're going to exchange some information so I can get it over to Jill so you guys can talk. And that will be the first step of saying this. And then once I get this, I'll send your interview over to her so she can see how wonderful and dynamic you are as a human being.
Hey, Jill. Thank you.
All right. All right. So again, I want to thank you for coming on. This is not going to be the last time.
For sure.
Okay. And you have an open invitation, to come and perform anytime you want to. You just say the word, I got something new. I got a conversation. I'm feeling a kind of way and whatever. And RMK Productions will be open to you. We also have another podcast called One Queen, Two Kings, where we showcase 100 girls with curls. I'm going to talk to my partners about another interview with you to add you to that list of 100 girls with curls that are doing something and giving back to the community. So this is not the end. If you're ever in a position that you want to come back, you ever connect with someone that says, you should do that podcast with my boy Kevin, all you do is pick up the phone. You got the numbers.
Okay. Right?
Again,
thank you so much.
Again, before we sign off, tell everyone how they can reach you.
Okay. You guys, my name is Alia Lene. You can find me on all social media platforms at AliaLene. I look forward to see you there. We have a lot of things coming out at the top of the year. So I'm very excited going forward.
Well, and I hope our listeners, our fans, you've enjoyed this episode of Talking with Kevin and Son, and now you know why we showcase people you should know. And if you have a story that should be featured on here, please reach out to us. You can either reach us by info@rmkproductions.net or subscribe and follow RMK Productions and Network on our YouTube channel. As my grandfather always said, and I'm repeating myself, when you get to a point in your life where you can help someone else, it is your duty to do so. He said, reach one, teach one. I'm going to ask you to adopt this hashtag, find 1,000 reasons to be kind to someone. So without further ado, I want to thank Miss Alia Lene Jackson for blessing us with her presence, blessing us with her consciousness, allowing us to have a piece of her soul, and then also opening the first door to Christmas with her new music. All right, please follow her. Please reach out to her. And if you're that 10-year-old girl with a dream, let Miss Lene know that she's the reason why you want to be famous. So, and this is the end of our episode. So we fade to black and we're out.